of all our moderator. So yes, let me just do that quickly. Okay. Can you all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So our speaker, who is Temilade Adelakun, is the Associate Product Marketing Manager, Google Sub-Saharan Africa. She currently works across several aspects of marketing, from branding and positioning to product and growth marketing for some of Google's consumer products. She is a 2023 IESE Business School Future Female Leader Awardee and an alumna of the Harvard Business School Crossroads Emerging Leaders Program class of 2020. She has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Ibadan and graduated with a first class. She was a part of the NUTM founding class. She actively contributes to technology communities and speaks widely on issues relating to technology with a particular interest in women and youth inclusion, accessibility, digital inclusion, literacy, and sustainability. She is committed to increasing female representation in STEM, and she has worked with various STEM organizations like STEM Bell, Google Women Tech Makers to deliver a series of awareness programs on exploring career opportunities in STEM to thousands of young girls and women across Africa. Temilade is enthusiastic about tech ecosystem in Africa. She aspires to be a business leader, encouraging digital skills, assisting in job creation, entrepreneurship, and technology development in Africa, and also making an impact and inspiring people. She enjoys volunteering and having conversations with people. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Temilade Adelakun as she comes forward, as she not comes forward, well, virtually comes forward to give us her presentation. And just like she said in her bio, she enjoys conversations with people. So we hope to enjoy her too. So, Temilade Adelakun, if you're ready, we are ready to have you.
Thank you so much, Hamifeld. Super grateful. I'm so excited to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, depending on the city you are in. Can I say good night? Nah, I feel like it's most it's most likely morning or afternoon for anyone. But
Yeah.
I am in the afternoon. So good afternoon, everybody. So good to be here. Sorry, I'm still trying to get like the right location to put my camera. Awesome. Let me just go straight to the point. Thank you, Amifel, and thank you everyone for inviting me and even signing up to listen to me. I promise it's going to be worth your time by God's grace. I'm privileged to be the first speaker that ASN will be having. Thank you once again to the ASN team. Really happy because I kind of understand what you're trying to do for African students. And I think we need more organizations like ASN. So shout out to you guys for doing this, even despite your busy schedule at school. Let me use this opportunity to shout out to my dad and my siblings who are also on the call. I saw my dad and I was blushing. Thank you, Daddy, and thank you to my siblings as well for joining this call. Now let's hit the ground running, like they say in Nigeria. And for those who are not in Nigeria, Emma Bino. For those who are not in Nigeria, Emma Bino, but I mean, let's hit the ground running. Kindly confirm that you can see my slide.
Yes, we
Um,
can.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, I know it's 22. I mean, I really hope I get to go through the slide. But even if I don't be hungry. I think what is very important to me is I have a feeling that most of you already know this topic. You've even gone to conferences or events a lot of times where this topic has been taught. So I just want to like share more personal examples because for me personally, I learn with examples. So as I'm going through the slides, I will share a couple of examples to make this conversation super relatable. And I know that there's time for question and answers. So I'm looking forward to your questions. To go straight to the point, again, like you know, the topic is future proving your employability, developing critical skills for career success. I just did some slides for paparazzi's sake. Okay, just to tell you more about myself, and thank you once again, Amifel, for the introduction. My name is Temilade. I'm a child of God. I do product marketing at Google. And over the past few years, I've worked in roles that involve product management, programs management, strategy and operations, and data analytics. Yada, yada, yada. I currently live in Lagos, Nigeria. I said yada, yada, yada because the other two parts, I mean, you already mentioned it. Fun fact about me, I actually love to meet people, and I always just like to interact with people. There's a lot to learn from anyone, regardless of age, regardless of background. So I always love to meet people. Just in case you meet me somewhere, please feel free to say hi. Feel free to let us take selfies together. Feel free to have striking conversations. And I always say I love to work out. Now I'm covering my face because I know my siblings and my father is like, for where? I actually love to work out, but I've not been to the gym in like over a year. But I just always enjoy like seeing people working out and having like very fit, healthy lifestyles and bodies. But yeah, let me move my slide a step further again. So I chose this picture, and at this point I will stop, even though I know there is like a caption attached to these two pictures. But I just want anyone to just tell me what they think about the picture. I want a guy and a lady just looking at the picture. What do you think I want to see, or what do you think I want to explain as relates to this topic? Two things. And feel free to raise up your hand before you speak so that we are more coordinated. Two things. Number one, I know that someone introduced herself and she mentioned that she's done with school. By the way, just in case you are a recent graduate, also know that this session is super useful to you. So don't be scared. I'm just here to talk to students alone. I'm here to talk as well as recent graduate. And also, I also like to give a shout out to my friends who also joined the call. I see Olamide, I see Mary, I see a couple of my friends on the call as well. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this call. Yeah, back to my slide. I mean, who can explain what anyone? Just raise up your hand and I call you to explain what you think about this picture as you're looking at it. Please don't go quiet on me. I can call names though. I see Valentine. Valentine, do you mind just talking about the picture? Josephine, hello. So good to see you again. Thank you for joining. Valentine, do you mind talking about the picture? The two pictures we have. What do you think I'm trying to explain? Just say anything. There's no right or wrong answer, really. It's not like it's a test. Okay, I see Eniola Oluwa's hand is raised. The Eniola Olua was telling Adiola I wanted to call this morning. Small world. Thank you, Eniola, for your email. Eniola, you have the floor. Hi, Eniola, can you hear me? We can't hear you. I see you on mute. Maybe it's a mistake. I see you're on mute, but we can't hear you. And I see your hand is raised as well. Okay, while we wait for you to get your audio back, please feel free to speak when your audio is back. I could just call someone else again. I see 214343. That's someone's matric number. More matric number. Adetunji, do you mind just saying what you think the picture depicts?
Yeah, good
Hi,
afternoon.
Adetunji. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
can you hear
you.
me?
Good afternoon. Yes, 100%. I hear you.
All right. The picture on the left, I can see a typewriter, and
Yeah.
then the picture on the right, I can see a combination of typewriter, a television, and then
Mm-hmm.
a like 3D technologies, like different for visual, for text, and then this one looks like a disc. What is it called? Yeah, a disc set. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I can see.
Thank you so much, Adetunji. Thank you. Spot on. Eniola Olua, are you able to unmute and talk now?
Is it better now?
100%. Thank you.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, Temilade.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. What really comes to mind from this
Eniola, I think your internet is breaking. We can't hear you again. Okay, just because of time, kindly permit us to move on. I mean, feel free to, I mean, when I have another question, I'll make sure to call you first. But at the same time, feel free to drop your comment as a chat. Apologies that you're having like network issues. And thank you, Eniola Olua, for raising up your hand. And thank you, Adetunji, for your thoughts. You're pretty right. The one on the left is a typewriter. The one on the right is actually what we would call like one of the first set of generations of computer, where that part is the keyboard, we have the monitor, we have like all these disk drive. This is just like one of the first set of computers that was ever created. And my reason for starting with this picture is many years ago when people were moving to like typewriters to computers, we had a few people, not even a few, a lot of people felt, I beg, why do we have to learn something new, really? Like, I'm used to using typewriter. Nobody can send typewriting machine out of the industry. We are here for life, blah, 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 blah. And then few months and few years down the line, looks like if you don't know how to use a computer or a monitor, you can't get a job. And now it's been so many years now. If what you know how to use is still typewriting machine, you are in trouble. But my point is, I started by showing this picture is things are changing. And as young folks, it's always best we are very aware of what's happening around us, around our industry. Let us not just be adamant about our learning, like, oh, I'm used to this, I know this. Yes, something new is coming. I don't think I'm interested in ChatGPT. I don't care what ChatGPT is. I don't care, yada, yada, yada. I don't care what bad is. Even if you don't, even if you're not interested in knowing that thing to A to Z, at least know A to F, understand how it applies to you and how it might affect you. Along the line, I would share my story, even how I got into Google, and you understand why I feel is very important, or why I started with very important about being open-minded about what's happening around the world and how things are evolving. Make sure you are evolving positively as things are evolving around you. Just to read what I wrote down, this is like a very valid statistics. I think from McKinsey. I don't remember where exactly I got these statistics, but by 2035, 40% of today's professions are likely to have disappeared. Don't be scared. I'm not saying all these things to make you leave this session and be scared. But yeah, hey, is my course relevant? Is my life relevant? I'm not here to do all of that. Regardless of what you are studying or where you are at life right now, this session is still very valuable. As much as these professions will disappear, the good thing is they will be replaced by new and exciting jobs to fit around our fast developing technology. At the same time, our world presently faces like new problems to be solved. Yeah, new problems to be solved. As some old problems are going, some new problems are coming. For example, many years ago, let me even give another similar example to what we have now. Many years ago, the brand of cars that we have were PGO. What do they call that? Japaka. It has a brand. Is it Volkswagen? I don't know. Like we had like so many old brands of car. It was Benz. It was Peugeot. It was that Ijapaka. It was so many old. Toyota was very popular then, though. But now, right now, I mean, the brands of cars we have now, they've evolved. Now you need to learn how to repair a Tesla as a mechanic. Now you need to learn how to repair a Ferrari. So if you are still stuck to more, it's only Benz and Peugeot I want to learn how to repair. I don't care what new brands of car they are producing right now. I'm just restricting my mind to knowing how to work on Benz and knowing how to work on Peugeot. Then you're presently putting yourself in a dark spot. I'm trying to like pick examples that you can relate to that will help you question yourself. Okay, in my present career space, what am I learning that would not push me out of the market, sort of? So this is me asking you, what type of skills and capabilities should you develop to succeed in the changing workplace and the changing world? Let me move to my next slide. And by the way, Amifel, or the member of the ASN group, I love talking. And when I'm talking, and especially when it's a passionate topic, I sometimes get carried away. please feel free to unmute and say, hi, Temilade, you have 5 minutes more. I will not be angry, neither will I be embarrassed. Please just feel free to say, hey, hi, Temilade, you have 5 minutes more. Or you can even drop it as a private message or even as a public message on the chat. I would see it and caution myself. So let me move forward. Again, there is no picture here, but I'll read this out to you. The many cultural and technological shifts we are witnessing today are shaping and ushering the future of work across industries and verticals. By verticals, I don't mean tech, across agriculture, across human resource, across project management, across health sector, across microbiology, across learning languages, across international relations. Work will become increasingly diverse, inclusive, automated, and technology enabled. However, this would also be balanced by an increased demand for workers with emotional intelligence and cognitive skills. And the goal of this particular page is I need you to proactively start preparing for the shift. And I want you to remain adaptable to positioning yourself for success and even many emerging opportunities in the global workspace. Let me tell you something I did when I was in my second or third year in uni. And I would challenge every student on this call or even anyone on this call. Naturally, I am a forward thinking person. Right now, as I'm on this call, I'm sure after this call, I'm thinking about, oh, next month, oh, 2 months' time. That's how my brain works. I don't know if it's a normal thing for everyone, but I'm a naturally forward thinking person. And one day, 200 level, I saw my CGPA. Yes, I was still on a first class, but my CGPA dropped so bad. I was so shocked. You guys shocked me. But that's by the way. And I was so bored that day. And something in the corporate world, we call it stakeholder mapping. But in the you can just for you as a student, just say me mapping my future, sort of. Me thinking about mapping my future, I took my pen, I took my paper. Who were people that recently graduated from my department that I still sort of have a connection with? Listed about 5 names. I called each of them one by one. Hello, my name is Temilade. I don't know if you remember me. During the conference, I volunteered with you. Do you by chance have some free time? I want to ask you some questions. And guess what I was asking them? I was asking them, hey, now you graduated 1 year ago, you graduated 2 years ago. Please, I have a question. Reflecting back, what would you do differently? I'm still a student, I'm in my second year, I still have enough ground to cover. You have finished school, you graduated 2 years ago. Now that you're in the workforce, what would you have done differently? And they all gave me so many advices that I held on to, reminded me, don't be a student only. While you are being a student, I would not, no school will teach you skills you need to thrive in like the workspace or the workforce or the global workforce we have right now. They gave me so many advice. Apply for internships, apply for global internships, apply for conferences, volunteer, this one, that one. Because in my 100 level, yes, so I had a good grade, but I had like a 3 lifestyle, which is just go to class, go to church, and go to my hostel. I wasn't involved in anything. I was just reading book, reading book, reading book. But thanks to me asking good questions, else gave me, and it's one of the best advice that I ever received. So right now is one thing I also want you to ask that, hey, now they are already experiencing the global market. Ask them questions. Okay, was the 5 years or 4 years you spent in school enough? What did you do differently? Did you get yourself certified? Many years ago, many years ago, let me even say two things. Many years ago, people that studied accounting or financial related courses, it was when they were already in the workforce, like when they were already in the workforce, that they would do all these CFA, ACCA. I hope I'm not mixing up the accounting exams. But right now, you see students from their first year in uni, from their second year in uni, they are getting a CFA, financial something certified. But many years ago, it wasn't like that. It was when people were already in the workforce. But now students realize that, oh, more, the world is changing, this global market space, and the pressure is getting worse. I need to get myself certified while I'm in uni. During my set, I even knew people that were writing grad school exams while they were still in school. Because, for example, GRE is something that once you write it for the next 5 years, it's still valid. I had some of my colleagues that wrote their GRE from 400 level because they felt like, oh, more, while I'm still doing 5 years in school, my brain is still ready for book. But it will be very hard to write these exams when I'm still doing 9 to 5. I'm going through the stress of Lagos, going through the stress of workplace and writing exams. So they wrote all those exams while they were still students. So many things, like so many amazing things you can do, but always ask people questions so that you can learn from them what they could do differently if they go back to being students. Let me move my slide forward. Now, talking about these skill sets, there are three kind of skills. There is hard skills, the one we call technical skills. An example of hard skill is maybe as a computer science student, how to code, as a medical doctor, how to do surgery, how to give, as a nurse, how to give injections to people, as an accountant, how to do financial modeling. Those are hard skills, things that you have to learn. And I picked this picture from g2.com. Hard skills are teachable skills or job specific skills. We also have soft skills and refers to an individual's social ability and how you can relate and interact with people. We also have adaptive skills. Thanks to COVID-19 and so many things, realize that there are skills we call adaptive skills. And all these things will give you success. The hard skills, the soft skills, the adaptive skills. But above all, while these hard skills make you super proficient in carrying out your job-related responsibilities, the soft skills will help you work efficiently and create a positive work environment. I'm not here to dwell on the hard skills because there are so many of you from diverse sector, diverse verticals on this course. Some of you are from the agri sector, from the health sector. I am in the tech sector, so I may be only able to talk about hard skills that relate to tech. But what unifies us together, the 46 of us on this call, is soft skills. Soft skills is very relevant for everyone and anyone, regardless of your background, regardless of your field of knowledge. And that's where I'll be dwelling on today. Let me start with the a lifelong learner. I can beg you and literally go on my knees to emphasize this point. Let me give you an example. I still have videos of myself when I wrote my final exam in mechanical engineering in UI. I remember in that video I was shouting, oh my, if I read book again in this life, I'm never reading book again. I'm not gonna read anything, yada yada yada. I was so excited that after this exam, nothing like book. But guess what? Guess who is still taking courses right now? Because I'm now in the workspace where you just have to be on top of your game. And the only way to be on top of your game is to be like a lifelong learner. So I would re-emphasize, just in case you are thinking, oh, I can't wait to be done with school. I'm in my penultimate year, I'm in my final year. Once I drop that last pen like this, if I ever carry pen again, call me Kiniko. Please, my dear brother and sister, you need to become a lifelong learner. There is a book titled What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Even the title of the book the title of the book is enough to pass the message. What got you to graduating out of uni might not get you to getting a job. It's a book by Marshall Goldsmith. And the book has never been more relevant than the present situation we have right now post-COVID. You cannot rely on your past results to take you to the next phase of your career. Continued career development is all about ensuring you remain relevant. And that's the core conversation of what we're having today. How do we ensure you remain relevant? Global workspace changing and everything. One call to action for everyone is I want you to audit your current skill set and consider the skills that could boost your long-term employability. Once you've identified those areas of improvement, I want you to develop a personal learning plan to structure how you gain those skills, seek out opportunities to learn. Let me give you two examples of what I did or what I have done. And again, I'll be sharing very personal examples because I for one, relate with examples, and I believe that you all will also relate with examples. Let me give you one. Right from when I was in uni, I had always dreamt global. I just wanted to. I will some days, all these things, I'll stand in front of that my dirty wall mirror. Sorry that I said dirty. Forgive me, our girls, but that our beautiful mirror. And just practicing talking in front of the mirror. I mean, those things just it was just me making myself happy, to be honest. But One day I told myself, this global workspace or global whatever I'm planning for, do I even know what it takes to interview with a global firm? And let me tell you some of the things I did. When I was in UI, if I am not exaggerating, I think I applied for Goldman Sachs twice and Bank of America once. The bad thing is I never got any of those internship. I mean, Goldman Sachs, I remember getting to the almost final stage and some interesting things happened, but not to bore you with that story. I didn't get the internship. But the good thing is applying for Goldman Sachs twice and going through their various interview, applying for Bank of America once and going through their various interview, prepared me for when I'm now applying for Google because I now understood what international companies are looking forward to. I now understand how well to position myself, yada yada yada. My point is when we talk about becoming a lifelong learner, it starts with what you do now. What are you presently doing now for that future you see yourself in? Always take stock of your skill set and your career. Let me give you another example. I finished school during the pandemic. Yes, I did came out with the first class. I mean, graduation, people were hailing me. I was trending, my head was swelling. And then after all of that, one day I told myself, hey, Temilade, now you are done with school. What next? Like, what next? I didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of had an idea of what I want for myself. I wasn't sure how to go about it. And guess what I did? I did like a SWOT analysis of my life or of my skill sets. I did like strengths, what are the skills I have, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities I have. I did all of that and realized that okay, I say I want to be a tech leader. I want to be a tech leader, but I don't have A, B, C, D, E. I was able to highlight the gaps I had in my skills. And guess what? That was what made me apply to NUTM. I didn't apply to NUTM because I just wanted to waste 1 year of my life. My folks were doing, I mean, my folks, I mean, my colleagues were doing NYC by then. But I felt no, I still have some gaps. And I feel like NUTM will help me bridge this gap to become that tech leader I want to be. And I applied to NUTM, I got in, and glory to God, it's paying off for me in the future. So it's paying off for me now, and it's paying off even forever. My point is, in becoming a lifelong learner, I need to take stock of your skill sets. I mean, and know what are things I need to improve on. I see myself becoming a top HR leader. Am I HR certified? Do I even know what it takes and all of that? I'll go to my next point. Think global. This is a very important point. If you only see yourself, and there's nothing bad if you are like, come on, I just want to work in Nigeria. I'm not interested in working for an international firm. That's fine. There's nothing bad in saying, I just want to work in Africa. I'm not interested in working in the US and the UK. That's fine. If you can help me mute Emmanuel, that would be good. The host can help me mute Emmanuel, that would be good. So I'm saying think global, but there is nothing bad if you're like, I mean, global means different things to different people. For me personally, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we
All right,
can.
all right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Amifel. And I want to emphasize on this. Thank you, Alimi. Thank you, Eniola Onluwa. I just want you, for me, I've always been a big fan of thinking global right from uni, even before it became a normal slang that people use now. And even right now, post-COVID, thinking global is now a very big thing because tech is evolving. Even no, aside tech, what we call our jobs or our day-to-day is evolving. And the good thing is there's increase in like so many global networking sites, so many organizations, they now operate more globally. We now have a more culturally diverse work life than ever before. There are chances that your co-workers, even before I joined Google, the startup I was working for, founders of the startup, they reside in secondary. I remember having to always wake up 6 a.m. to join their meetings. One of them was Pakistani, I think it was from Pakistan. The other one was Nigerian, but resides in the US. But having, thank God for all those conferences, online conferences I had attended back then in uni, where I done group work with people, students from all over the world. I'm now used to, even for example, I now understood how to even relate to people from like different
That's the
countries,
result you
and it was
want.
very helpful for me.
The
Right now
two
at
major
Google, I
things
have
that
colleagues.
can get you a job, there are a lot of them,
Kindly help.
but two major ones.
Thank you. Thank you. So right now, I have colleagues from different countries, and I'm glad that I'm aware of the trends happening. I'm used to working with people. You could even have a colleague who is a big fan of LGBTQ. How do you relate with them? If, for example, in Nigeria or in Africa, LGBTQ is not really a big thing, but now you're now working in a global workspace where that is a big thing, and you need to accept people as they are and not start preaching to them on what you think they should be. Those are things that having a global mindset helps you prepare yourself for. It means you are dealing with people from different languages, different cultures, and different background. Let me give you an example. I remember when I was interviewing for Google, one of my interviewer sits in Dubai, is from UAE. That's his country of origin, from UAE. And I was a bit fidgeting that, hey, God, I've never had anybody interview me for UAE. How will I relate to this person? Do they laugh a lot? Do they crack joke a lot? Or are UAE people that just like seriousness? So there are some interviews where it's good to understand the tone of your interviewer. Is there an interview where you have to be serious, like let us pray, or you have to at least crack some joke in between, losing up? I was so scared. I just spoke to some of a few friends that reside in UAE and on what can I do? And guess what? Coincidentally for me was Ramadan. So when the person joins the call, I joined the call earlier, the person joins the call, and I saw his face was squeezing his face. And I'm like, hey God, I was already fidgety, I was already scared. Like, how do I make? I didn't want the conversation to start on the person interviewing me squeezing his face. I just said, hello, happy Ramadan, assalamu alaikum. And then I guess me just saying that really got the guy to loosen up a bit. He was like, oh, thank you. Assalamu alaikum to you too. Are you a Muslim? I said, no, I'm not a Muslim, but I understand that you might be fasting. How is the fasting going? I hope you are not. Just me blending to his personality and even his current situation. It was one of my best interviews, to be honest, because I sort of loosened up the atmosphere. But imagine if I don't even know UAE folks are fasting. I don't know what's happening in UAE. I don't know how to greet them. Imagine I just entered the meeting. Hello, my name is Temilade. I am applying. No, 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 no. So my point is, try to understand what's happening in different parts of the world. Think global. See yourself in any country. Friends, even LinkedIn makes it very easy. I have so many friends on LinkedIn I've never met in real life, and they cut across like different countries. Not to overemphasize this, again, dear ASN students and everyone on this call, I really want you to think global, because even right from the comfort of your home here in Nigeria or in Africa, you have to deal with people across different languages, cultures, and background. Right now, because of the scale of work I presently do and the company I work for, I know how to say hello in so many languages, because when I'm with my colleague that is in Japan, I want to be able to relate with them and not just say hello. So I say it in their language, like just making, when you people find you exciting, when they feel like you can relate with them, that, oh, this person even took some effort to understand how to say hello, how to say how are you in my language. So let me move ahead. Please think global. Going back to my first point, become a lifelong learner. My second point, think global. My third point, put energy into your online brand. Again, this one I can beg. And at this point, let me pause and share another part of me, so that, and I want to share this so that I'm not sharing this for you to hype me or say, no, no, no. I'm saying this to challenge you. And with all humility, right from when I finished school, I've done, I think, 3 jobs. I mean, I've worked in 3 different places, rather, or 4 before, plus Google makes it 3 or 4. I can't remember the exact number now. But the point I want to make is all the places I have worked for, including Google, everything happened on LinkedIn. So it was not like the first place I worked for, the founder reached out to me himself saying, I've checked I was just done with you. I was not like, I've only done internship. I'd not worked anywhere. The guy just entered my LinkedIn saying, no, I went through your profile. I think you'll be a good fit for our company, blah, blah, blah. Reach out to the HR, tell her from me. I sent an email to the HR 1 week later, I started my first job in Ibadan after school. The next one, the other place I also worked, the other 2 places I worked before Google too, the same thing. They reached out to me on LinkedIn. Google itself, I love Google. I've always dreamt of working at Google. Google was a 2025 plan for me, but it happened in 2022 by God's grace. But it started by the person reaching out to me on LinkedIn, the recruiter reaching out, hello, Temilade, my name is blah, blah, blah. I work at Google. I went through your profile. I think you fit this particular role. I don't joke with my online presence. I don't joke with it at all. Even for me right now, I think the only one I've been able to hack to some extent is LinkedIn. At some point in my life, one of my plans for next year is even go have a coach that will teach me well on how to maximize my Instagram and Twitter. I feel like I'm still faffing around on Instagram and Twitter. But for now, LinkedIn, I won't say I'm the LinkedIn guru. There are so many LinkedIn guru I can recommend. Ahoma is one of them. You might want to check how she does that. I'm not a LinkedIn guru, but the little or 1 or 2 I do with my LinkedIn has been working for me. Again, I would re-emphasize, please put energy into your online brand. It's becoming a more global and virtual workspace, and the significance of your digital reputation will become more important. Next week, I'll be saying bye-bye to a friend of mine who is traveling to Spain. He lives here in Nigeria. How did he get the job? LinkedIn. He didn't get the job by somebody recommending him. He doesn't know anybody in Spain. It was all from his LinkedIn profile, arranging his profile, applying via the job he saw on LinkedIn, and now he's moving to Spain next year. Nigerians are relocating. Yes, knowing people and networking is also key, or you even having a good online presence is very, very critical. For me, three Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I mean, I still use Facebook, but I don't think recruiters go and looking at your Facebook. But Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn let it reflect how you want to be perceived by a professional network. If somebody looks at your LinkedIn post, what should come to their mind first? If they look at your LinkedIn bio, your Twitter bio, your Instagram bio, what jumps at them? What is one thing? I mean, they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Hey, people are judging your LinkedIn post by its front page. They are judging your Instagram, your Twitter by what you are posting. Again, for me on Instagram, you see me post serious stuff and fun stuff. That's fine. I'm not sure if I know how to, maybe the right modality for Instagram. But my point is, as you're trying to post the old, I woke up like this is happening, yada, yada, yada. I just went from a friend's bear. All those things are very fine, but also try to also post things that depict what you are doing. You just went for a conference, post about it. Let me tell you something I used to do, and I'm not telling you to do it. When I was in uni, though at some point I think I deleted some of those posts. I mean, now that I'm now in like the global works, when I was in uni, every time I attend the online conference or a physical conference, once I am done like this, I'll go write a LinkedIn post. Thank you to Mr. Yusuf for teaching us on how to kiniko. I would tag the person. I would put picture. That was what I was doing while I was in uni. Though to some extent, I've reduced on some of those things now. And even right now, in all humility, I've not had time for social media. But then I would do things such that the speaker went to my DM, I'm so glad you found my session valuable. Let's keep in touch. Blah blah blah. Like my point is, give yourself a good online presence online. And LinkedIn is just very, very good. If you are still slacking on LinkedIn, I think you are snoozing. There are some amazing friends I have made right now that everything started from LinkedIn. Some of them I have never met. Some of them we finally met this year. Some of them we finally met last year. Sorry, my ear is disturbing me. Sorry. Some of them we met this year. Some of them we met last year. But everything started from LinkedIn. And let me even tell you something I just did just yesterday, just show you how I actively maximize my LinkedIn. I did two things this week. The first one, I attended an online session middle of the night. I'm trying to apply for something, and then there was an online session on it, and then a lady took her time to speak about. She's Nigerian, but she resides in the US. She spoke about it and stuff, and then she shared her experience. When she was done, after the session was done, I went to my LinkedIn. I sent her a request, and as God will have it, maybe she observed as I was engaging with her, she accepted my LinkedIn request. I just entered a DM. Dear Kiniko, thank you so much for taking out time to share your experience about this with me. I am so grateful. I'm about to apply. I'll keep in touch with you. So when I'm applying, I will share my Kiniko with you. And she responded to me. Now I've caught her attention. By the time I need that now, it will be very easy for me to slide into a DM and say, now I'm ready. Can you help me review ABCD? Another thing that happened just yesterday, still about this old something I'm trying to apply for. Somebody else applied last year and got it for this year. I'm applying this year for next year. And then there was a video about it that was the first thing I woke up to. And to be honest, the video really touched my heart. The lady started by saying, you miss 100% of every shot you don't take. I mean, I'm like, wow. Next thing I went to LinkedIn. Instagram was private. I would have DM'd out on Instagram. My Instagram was very private. I went to LinkedIn, sent her a request. She accepted. I wrote her a very long post. Hello, thank you so much for sharing your light with us by even sharing your story. My name is this. I'm looking forward to also applying for this next year. I've been a bit bothered about the application, but you sharing your story really inspired me. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to applying next year, and by God's grace, maybe this time next year I'll be sharing the same story you are sharing, blah blah blah. And the lady responded to me. Now when I need her to help me review my application, it'll be very easy because I've sort of like built that a little bit of a rapport with her on LinkedIn, and now it's very easy to slide into a DM again. Not to overflog this, and please, whoever is timing me, let me know if I've overstepped my boundary. Put your energy into your online brand. I can speak for LinkedIn. LinkedIn has worked for me. Like LinkedIn has worked and has helped my career. I've seen people get jobs on Twitter. I've seen people get jobs on Instagram. Please don't joke with your online presence. When they Google your name, when they Google John Orioke, when they Google Ajewole Ire, what are they going to see? You should always ask yourself that question. Let me give one more example. There was one job I applied for. Though I didn't eventually get the job, I applied for it. And then I remember doing my interview. The interviewer said, so it was a product manager job as at then. And then I was also happy that, yay, they're about to interview me. And then we're just in there, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to talk for us? And the interviewer said, I have a question. Somebody on the panel said, I have a question. And I'm like, oh, yes, please, I'm ready to answer. Which was like, we researched on your name, or I searched your name before this meeting. Excuse me. And I realized that 5 minutes more, yay. Thank you, Amifiel. I researched your name before this meeting and I realized that you wrote a post about wanting to become a biomedical engineer. Can you mind if you share why you're moving from biomedical engineering to product management? That question caught me off guard because 2018 or 2017, I actually wrote a Medium post on how I want to be a biomedical engineer. I never deleted that post. Now I'm applying for product management job. They went to check my past and saw that I wrote about wanting to be a biomedical engineer, asking me that, okay, why are you transitioning from biomedical engineering to product management? Once again, so as to move faster. Thank you, Amifel, for reminding me about the time. My point is your social media print is very, very, very important. Don't start having controversial topic on Twitter and you think they will not see it. Talking about things that you feel is a very controversial thing. Don't just be very careful. I always tell my friends, my Twitter, I'm not there to be arguing and be fighting with anybody. I just tweet reasonable things and retweet things that are blessed. I'm not there to, if I want to argue with you about something, let me and you have a face-to-face conversation, not me arguing about it on Twitter and then somebody else sees it and misinterprets it that, oh, this girl is this girl is that. So please be very careful. Guard your social media platform or your presence on social media like it is gold. I'll move forward because I have 5 minutes, even though I'll have to beg to give me 10 minutes. Build your professional network. I will just read this. It's very important to take time to develop relationships with people within and outside your organization. Those of you that are students, don't just be friends with UI students only, with OAU students only, with students at University of Ghana only. Have friends across different institutions. I remember at some point I told myself that, well, Ghana is just very close to Nigeria. I need to be very intentional about making friends with people in Ghana. I just took so much interest in having friends in Ghana. And then, of course, LinkedIn was my go-to. I made a few friends. And then guess what? Almost a year later or 2 years later, something happened. I had to travel to Ghana. I had booked my flight, but for some reason, I think I made a very big mistake. And either I have somebody in the airline address it, or I have to pay extra. So I used my MTN SIM to call the number they gave me. Was a Ghanaian line. It was chopping my money, almost like 200 naira per minute. I was so confused. And I was a student, 200 naira per minute. What? It was very expensive to call them. And I just remember that I have a friend in Ghana now. I just went on LinkedIn. Dear Kiniko, it's been a while. I hope you've been good. Please, I have a request, blah, blah, blah. And my friend helped me. Something that was taking me days and weeks of getting bothered and not being able to reach. My friend went to the airline itself, the Ghana branch of the airline, took my documentation and helped me resolve it. My point is, start networking with people, not until you need them. It's not until you need them, you now network with them. Greet them happy birthday. Even things as little as happy birthday. Some of you go for events, collect people's number, and you're just checking their status. You can't even greet them happy birthday. You can't say happy new year. You can't say happy new month. Someone like me, and I said this is all humility. I always say my WhatsApp is not my WhatsApp is not Nollywood. If I have you on my contact and then I post something, you not able to say it inspire you, nothing, you do like so I took that for 2 years. I just checking your status, you are checking their own nothing. I'm like, that's not networking. Networking is not just about collecting people's number, it's about actively engaging them. Networking is not just about connecting people on Instagram and LinkedIn. Drop comments on their posts. People see these things. You might not know. They are noticing that, oh, there's this girl that just keeps commenting on my post. Wow. People see some of these things, to be honest. My point is build your professional network. You can learn tips and tricks from inspiring leaders that will boost your exposure for new opportunities. If networking is something you are not familiar with, by the way, I'm an introvert that became an ambivert. I sucked at networking many years ago. I wouldn't say I'm a badass networker now, but I'm much better. But everything started from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great starting point. Join professional groups, join webinars like this, join network like ASN, check in with your former colleagues, build your network with people, join online forums, join professional associations, and take to the next slide. People always say things like, I'll cut somebody off. I will shake I will cut people. All of you that are scissors, I like to cut people off. Be very careful. You don't know when you will need them. Yes, somebody finished the class, somebody did not graduate. That's it because of that. You'll never be friends with them again. I'm shaking my eyes for you because you don't know when you need them. Be friends with everyone. Be kind to everyone and anyone you meet, regardless of their background, regardless of, even as somebody was, let me quickly share this with you. Somebody went for an interview. Somebody I know went for an interview with a company. And then when she was coming back, she was done with the interview. She felt the interview didn't go well, but she was coming downstairs. And the receptionist just greeted her, hello, blah, blah, blah. And she responded. Not to bore you with the whole story, the receptionist was a breakthrough to getting grants for her NGO. She went to there for a job, but thanks that she had like just became friends. Ah, how are you, ma? Blah, 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 blah. And then the receptionist helped her in submitting a document with the company to get a grant. And 3 years later, the company is still giving her NGO grants up to now. So please network with people. Don't just network with big people. You go somewhere and only taking pictures with the big people. Network with even your peers because you know when you need them. Be flexible and open to new opportunities. Let me use this to say my story because so many people be asking me, you studied engineering, how come you are doing product marketing? I am doing product marketing because I am very flexible and open to new opportunities. I am very, very young. Somebody else, they might say, this one does not have career goal. She's moving from engineering to data analytics. Only if you understand I'm very important about skill sets. What am I learning then? What is the job title? And I remember when, let me digress a bit, when the recruiter from Google reached out to me in my DM and she was like, hey, product marketing. I'm like, I'm not taking this job. All I want to do is product management or nothing, product management or nothing. And then I remember speaking to a friend and they were like, are you high? Google is reaching out to you. You are speaking English, that product management or nothing. Why are you being closed-minded? Have you even done your research to understand what are skills in product marketing that can be very relevant to you in product management? Are you even aware that product management and product marketing is sort of intersect? Are you also aware that you can even move within a company? You can start a company as a product marketer and move to become a product manager. My point is, please, I'm grateful to God my friend was able to speak sense into my head, and I was very flexible and open to new opportunities. Let me share another example. I know someone that was working for a tech company here in Nigeria. She was working as a customer success engineer, also customer success associate. Our work then was just, hello, customer, you're having these issues, Abi. Okay, we've taken note of it. I've noted it down. The engineers work on that was our sort of like our core job, customer success associate. But she was eager for more. So there she would join company meetings to understand what's going on. She moved closer to the product manager in the company just to also maybe, Ma, what can I learn from you? What can I do? She didn't just say, Shebi, people are paying me work for customer success. That's what I will not, if their engineering stuff is not working, I don't care. I don't want to help them troubleshoot. They're only paying me salary for customer success associate. That's the only thing I will do. She was very eager to know other things. And guess what? A few months later, the product manager was pregnant and had to go on maternity leave. Guess who took over? Someone that was customer success associate took over to become product manager of the company because she was very flexible, very eager to learn, and she was very open to new opportunities. Guess what? That same lady now works at Google as the product manager. But she started from Nigeria, being a customer success associate in Nigeria, to becoming the product manager of that company in Nigeria. Then she traveled out, went for grad school, and now she works at Google as a product manager, thanks to being flexible and open to new opportunities. So please embrace flexibility. I believe is a key to success in the future and to also future-proof your career. Many organizations automate basic tasks and companies will start looking at jobs differently. Works in the future would not be defined or confined by your role or job title. I've had people reach out to me that you're a product manager. You know, I had Google to become an associate. Me, I'm like, you people just like to stress yourself. I know what I am learning. Hey, time up, Amifel, no time. I know what I am learning as a associate product marketing manager. The skill set I am learning, I've not learned it elsewhere. So don't be concerned about the job title or your role. Just be concerned about what are the skills I will learn. Throughout your career journey, you'll be presented with so many new opportunities. There will be so many job offers, event invitation, and mentoring possibilities. Don't confine yourself to, I studied law only, except you are very sure that I'm so sure that, that's what I want to do in my life. And that's fine. There are some people that know what they want to do with their life. They are so definite about this is what I want to do, this or nothing. That's fine. I also believe that we are very young. Try things and either succeed or fail in it and move forward. Instead of you confining yourself to, I'm only looking for this kind of opportunity or nothing. Let me move ahead because my time is fast spent. Emotional intelligence. Please, this is very, very key. You can't work in a global workspace if you don't have a good level of emotional intelligence. Be aware of people's emotions. Understand other people and their situations. Don't just open your mouth and talk. You need to know when to talk and when to keep quiet. It's a very vital skill, even these days, some organizations will allow you to do EQ test, emotional intelligence test for the employees. You even know how do you even think? If you are facing this situation, if a customer comes, what will you say? What will you do? Emotional intelligence is very, very key because you're working in an environment where you have so many colleagues that you have to be very sensitive to. And then you have to know how to talk to them, how to approach them, when to talk, when to keep quiet. And emotional intelligence, I use this picture because it depicts empathy, your social skills, your self-awareness, and your motivation as well. Let me move ahead because time is fast spent. Self-awareness again. I would like to say to thyself, be true. Don't try to copy someone else's journey. Just be true to yourself. Know your own strength. Know your own weaknesses, not Temilade's weaknesses. Know your own emotions. Are you someone that gets angry easy? Know how to work on that. Ask people, what do you think about my behavior? How do I behave? When you are self-aware, it makes you sort of understand where you are headed in life. Let me give you an example. When we're done with school, with uni, during that pandemic, when I was bothered about my life and my career, most of my friends were saying they wanted to go for PhD. And that's fine. I love it for them. I'm happy for them. But me being self-aware knew that I'm not interested in academia. I'm not going for PhD. I was so adamant on that because I remember I had to have a tough conversation with my parents that I'm not being lazy. I'm just not interested in PhD. There's no point doing PhD because that's what everybody is doing, or that's maybe one of the easy ways to japa. I'm not saying those that are doing PhD have problems. Some of them are very passionate about becoming academia, and that's why they've gone to do PhD. Fine. But to yourself, be true. Be very self-aware about what you want in life. Self-awareness will help you with productivity and relationships. Also, be curious. I think one of my strengths, and with all humility, is curiosity. Gosh, I can ask questions. It's interesting, even maybe because I work in a global work, that people believe that don't ask questions. I ask even questions that people consider to be silly. I would ask because I don't understand, and that's what I'm gonna ask. So please have a learning mindset and always ask yourself why. Curiosity is a partner of critical thinking. When you want to develop your critical thinking skills, you just have to be curious. Ask why, when, what, who. Always, of course, reasonable questions, not questions that the answer is on Google. Always ask reasonable questions. questions about things. When you ask questions, it help you improve better. I'm rushing fast because I've gone past time. Resilience as well. And I want to emphasize on resilience because people think that, okay, maybe by when I just finished the first class of the 2-1, life will remain smooth, or because you've got this also scholarship, life remains smooth. I will tell you, for one, I have experienced so many challenges in my life, even when I was in school and even after school. So you have to learn how to pick yourself up and move on from problems, from odds, from failures and negativity. Don't think, oh, because you work in the best company in the world, life will be good. On the job, you have to problem solve. Things will go wrong once in a while or sometimes. You need to learn resilience, how to pick yourself up. Something will happen, maybe a project will fail, or your manager will give you a negative feedback that will shatter your heart. You need to learn to pick yourself up. Everything is just about being a better version of yourself. You need to learn how to adapt. Some people lost job post-COVID because they didn't know how to adapt to the new era, where go and learn how to use Zoom, how to share your screen, I've been in situations where people are in interviews, say share your screen, you can't share your screen. Those very little things matter to organizations right now. So you always have to adapt. There are so many changes happening and so many new changes that are going to happen. Chat GPT, so many new, even all the platforms we use for online calls, the Zooms and the Google Meet and the Microsoft Teams, they're already changing and evolving. You need to learn how to change with these things as the world is changing as well. Other things I want you to take note of and be intentional about, I will just talk about this pretty fast. Please develop your digital skills. You are in tech or you are not in tech, develop your digital skills. I have a senior friend who works in oil and gas, and she was saying how one day the company sent an email to all of them that they have to learn data analytics. Oil and gas company sent an email that they have to learn data analytics. They give them blah 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 1 week, do this exam to get the promotion you need. Like, learn tech regardless of if you're in tech or not. Develop people skills. By people skills, I want to emphasize on character and attitude. If you like, know books so well, know your art skills so well. If you have a very bad character and people can't work with you, trust me, it's a problem. It's a very big problem because you'll not be able to grow in your career. Please have people skills. Be very kind to people. Be very understanding. Always acknowledge that nobody will be in the same level as you are, maybe from a art skills perspective. Please develop people skills. Problem solving and critical thinking skills, just being curious, will help you develop those skills. Communication skills, how to speak. Some people say, oh, Temilade, you're such a beautiful speaker. Me, I'm like, ha, ha, ha. Because to me, I feel like I still have a lot to do on my communication skills. And it's something I'm actively learning. I've set different goals for my life at this particular year. I'm going to this particular 3 months, 1 month, 3 months communication class where I'll pay heavily to go and learn how to speak, because I see myself on global stages. And it's not like this, I'll be speaking on a global stage. Of course, I'm not putting pressure on myself, but my point is communication skills is very, very, very important. Creativity, collaboration, work well with people. Don't be that person that is always fighting with people. Like, people observe very little things. When I remember doing my Codeman Sachs interview, one of the things they did, they kept all of us in a room, the students from different schools, Commonwealth University, Unilag, all of us were in a room. They gave us a case study and told us to do. And they were observing us. They're just observing, okay, who is that one that when the person is in a place, nobody else must talk. They want to answer all the questions. They don't even care. Faith Ajibole has no answered question. Let me say, Faith, do you mind contributing? You don't even care if Faith is talking. Just want to be talking. They want to be the hero of the class. They observe all of those things. Collaboration. I don't want to bring the class together. Oh yeah, I don't want to scatters everyone. Collaboration skills is very, very important. Practical experience. Please do free internships, do paid internships. Somebody else is like, God forbid, I don't do free internship. For me, I did some free internships at some point in my life. But what was important is, to somebody else, maybe like, these people are using me. But what's important is I had skills that I was going to learn from that free internship that I could put on my CV and to get me a paid internship or a paid job. Volunteer a lot. Trust me, when you are in school, you have the time to volunteer. When you start your 9 to 5, every Saturday, like, I just want to sleep on my bed because 9 to 5 can be very stressful sometimes. School, you have time to do so many opportunities available to you as a student. Make use of them. Volunteer a lot. Do projects, work on projects, try and work on a startup together with. I tried to do like an health tech startup when I was in school. I failed, but I learned on being an entrepreneur. I learned what it meant to be an entrepreneur. Get your hands dirty, do stuff that will help you develop critical skills. And also read books and articles. 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 It's now that when I was in school, I had enough time to read a lot of books. Now that I'm doing 9 to 5, and it's only God that can intervene. I'm trying my best. I'm not telling myself, like, they read books and articles. Ensure that you are learning even things outside of your sphere or of your vertical. You are in health, know what's happening in agri, know what's happening in language, know what's happening in the world. You are in Nigeria, know what's happening in Spain, know what's happening in Portugal, know what's happening in Japan. Just know things, read books and articles. I remember one time I so much loved business school that every time, every week, I would challenge myself to read an Harvard Business School article case study. Gosh, life was so sweet and blissful then. Now, 9 to 5, I don't even have time to even read read my WhatsApp messages, not talk about case studies. But again, I create time for those things. My point is, please read books and articles. They say readers are leaders. It's not a cliche. That's very valid. Readers are actually leaders. They help you see the world in a different landscape, and it helps you be able to have conversations with people. I'm almost done, everyone. I also want to emphasize this. I mean, I could say talk on and on to the end of the day, but I'll just talk on the critical part. What you studied in school does not necessarily have to be what you do after school. I will say these 3 times. What you studied in school does not necessarily have to be what you will do after school. For the third time, what you studied in school does not necessarily have to be what you do after school. And I'm saying this because somebody else is like, I wanted to do this, but they gave me education. I don't want to be an education person. Maybe, but what you studied in school, school is just enjoy the 4 years or 5 years, get the best grade as possible. But not that whatever you studied in school is not the final say about your future. Please don't let whatever you study in school be the final say about your future. While you are in school, I mean, I did mechanical engineering. Now I'm not working in oil and gas nor in engineering firm. I'm working in tech. There's a way you can turn your life around. What you study in school does not have to be what you do after school. I mean, these are just few pointers I noted down for ways you can identify your goals and interests. Talk to people, do self-reflection, do career assessment, do so many extracurricular activities, do internships and part-time jobs. These are general advice. I'm almost done. I'm rushing now because time is fast spent. I also want to recognize people's time. Some of you still have one bed to go to. You have other places to go to today. I'm almost done. In 5 minutes, I should be done. You need God. Let no one deceive you. You're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a traditional worshiper. Please hold on to your God very tightly. This life is not black and white. It's not just by, okay, I read, I come out with first class, automatically job will be coming for me. No, you need God. There's a part of grace also. Please honor and respect your God and always pray to every God or whatever God you serve. My second point, even after all this, my aspire to perspire, please don't put pressure on yourself. Self-comparison is a killer of joy. This person has gone far. This person has japa. This person got internship in Goldman Sachs. This person, yes, I feel like, I don't know, and I've said this a number of times, and I'll say it again. For me, when I see people doing well, I don't know, I get so much excitement. The next thing I'm asking is, hey, dear so person, you applied for this and you got this. And I'm so happy. Is there a way you can guide me? I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Is there a way you can guide me on how I can apply for this? I'm hoping to apply next year. I've heard people say, oh, LinkedIn puts me under pressure. Everybody is saying, I'm happy to be in this. I'm happy. No, I don't know. I feel like it's you that are putting yourself under pressure. Nobody's putting you under pressure. Again, to yourself, be true. Please don't put yourself under pressure. Take it one goal at a time. We all work in progress. You all think my life is perfect because I work at Google. No, my life is not perfect. I'm a work in progress. There are so many things I'm also working on for myself. Confidence is key. The little you know, talk about it with confidence. The little you know, please talk about it with confidence. Own your successes and own your failures. Even days you failed, freely share about it with people. You might inspire somebody else with your failure story. Actively seek advice and feedback. Don't always be in your own head. Some of us, we are so much in our own, we believe we are the best thing after sliced bread. Hey, don't deceive yourself. Oh. Actively seek advice and feedback. When people even give you feedback, tell them thank you. Thank you for that feedback. I mean, some people will give you feedback that you're like, I mean, what is very important is if they're giving you the same people are giving, so many people are giving you the same feedback. It means and then you have something to work on. Even when people don't give you feedback, ask people for feedback. Actively ask for feedback. What do you think? Trust me, once I'm done with this session, I'm calling my father or I'm chatting my father. I'm asking my sister, what did I do? How can I be better? I actively always love to seek feedback. Please actively seek feedback. You need the right people in your corner. Who are your friends? Show me your friends. I will tell you who you are. You all know this right from when we're in nursery and primary school. Have the right people in your corner. My friends have inspired me. They've motivated me. They've encouraged me. They pulled me up when I was very, very down. Please, right now, when we're in uni, making sure you're having the right set of friends in your corner. Friends that have friends that when it comes to financial discipline, I know who to talk to on financial discipline. When it comes to spiritual life, I know who to talk to. When it comes to career, when it comes to, I want to take this course, so I have friends to talk to. Please, who are your friends? Have the right friends in your corner. Your health is important. Health, they say, is wealth. Take a break if you need to. Please, I beg you, take a break if you need to. It's someone that is alive that can dream big or that can be employed. Your health is very important. Don't put pressure on yourself. Take a break if you need to and when you need to. I would scratch this. This is just like a conclusion page. I want to recommend some books. I have read all of it actually. I think except What Got You Here Won't Get You There. I've read every other book on this table. No, I've not read Atomic Habits, sorry. I've read How to Win Friends, Shoe Dog, The Alchemist, Bad Blood. I really want you to read all of these books. There are so many lessons to pick from this. These two books, I don't have them yet, but I'm hoping to get them. Read books that will just change your life. I mean, even if you are someone that life is becoming easy, tech is making life easy. We have audiobooks that you can listen to them. You don't have time. While you're having your bath, you're brushing your teeth, you're in traffic, let the audiobooks just be playing into your head. Whatever you have stored in your soul and your mind is what you bring out. I intentionally added Shoe Dog and Bad Blood. They are not book on well, I'll say Shoe Dog has a bit of leadership in it, but I highlighted these two books because for Shoe Dog in particular, it shows the story of the person that has the Nike shoes and Nike stuff we wear. Phil Knight was the one that founded Nike. But I want you to read his story to understand from the end to the beginning. Because people see Nike now, we are all shouting about Nike. The guy went through so many stages of life to eventually break through. So his story was very inspiring for me, and I believe it's going to be inspiring for you. For Bad Blood, I highlighted this because I don't want us to, this generation want to break, want to cash out very fast, want to be star girls and star boys very fast, and we get distracted. Bad Blood, there are a lot of lessons to learn about Bad Blood. How just be very true and be very authentic. I personally love authentic people. Don't live a fake life. Just be very true and very authentic. Don't don't lie to investors. Don't lie to because you want to like get a grant. You not lie, make up numbers. No, like the things we do now would sometimes, most times, speak in the future. Bad Blood, there are also lessons to learn from Bad Blood. I'm not making jest of the lady that was involved in a situation, but sometimes people go through life situations, and then when you read, you know, hey, I need to be careful about this part of my life. You need to read Bad Blood as well. Shoe Dog and Bad Blood they are big books, very big books, but there are so many life lessons to pick from it. At this point, I rest my case. Thank you for allowing me to stay over time for some minutes. I'm very grateful. Um, I think I'm done now and I'm open for questions and answers. You want to stay in touch? My LinkedIn, Temilade Adelakun, Twitter at Temilade with an underscore, Instagram at Temilade with an underscore, Medium. I've not posted in a while, but just in case you want to follow me on Medium, Temilade Adelakun. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, thank you very, very much, Temilade. That was a very, very interesting one. I mean, I feel like the fact that it was pretty interesting was why we just, we let it go on for a little longer. So thank you so much. I loved how
Thank you.
interactive it was. So now we'll
Thank
be
you.
taking questions, but because of time, we'll be taking just 2 questions. Yes, so the first 2 people to either raise up their hands or drop their question in the chat, other people will take. So just 2 questions, please.
Thank you, Enio Olaoluwa. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Adiola. Thank you, Timilaine. Thank you, Valentine. Thank you, my darling Mary. Thank you, Damilola.
Okay, so while I wait for people to raise their hands for the questions, a member from the ASN team will be dropping a link for our feedback forms in the chat. So please kindly check that out as soon as it drops, and we need your feedback. We need to know. We all know it was an amazing session, but we still want to hear from you. So as soon as the link drops, pardon me, just click on it, fill it, and we'll move on. So please, the questions, just 2 people, just raise your hand and we'll take you, or drop your question in the chat. Remember, while she was speaking, she said, be curious, ask questions. Now is the time, people. Ask your questions. But we're taking just two. Okay, so no one wants to, all right. Okay, so the link to the feedback form has already been dropped, so kindly check that out, guys, and let's fill and give our feedback. Well, while we wait for someone to want to speak up and give a question, if James is available right now, he has a few words for us. So James, you can speak now. James?
Hi, Temilade. Thank you very much. Yeah, we really appreciate this, and we do not take it for granted. Yeah, I think it's a really very interesting thought pattern you've shared with us, coupled with your experience, and I think it's really good. And yeah, I can say like imagine hearing this while I was in 100 level could have like affected my life. Yeah, very much. And I think it's really good that we hear from people that have like gone through some of the phases of life that we are currently in, and we can like draw from their experiences, from some of the insights that they have. And I would strongly advise that you connect with Temilade. And yeah, she's Adiola's sister, and yeah, it was a good recommendation. Yeah, and I think yeah, I should basically get in touch and probably catch up with you a couple of weeks to this time. Yeah, and yeah, we really appreciate this. Thank you very much. And I just want to say, like, we are going to provide the recording on our YouTube channel. You can rewatch it. You can kind of like also subscribe on the YouTube channel and follow our subsequent program. And also like for future events around the Foundry program, around like stuff around the industry insights. I really hope we'll have Temilade when it comes to like the product segment. So I've got like a couple of friends in Meta, and I think it might be a good stuff to like also have Temilade on product marketing. Yeah, when it comes to like the industry insight stuff. Yeah, thank you very much. And Amife, I'll just leave it to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, James. Very grateful. And well done to you and your team once again for the amazing job you are doing. Just to add, I mean, at some point in life, I reflected that while I was in uni, I did have a couple of people speak to me, maybe not speak directly to me. People took their time to share their stories, to share their journey. And I told myself, like, to the rest of my life, I'm going to give that back to as many people as I can. So please feel free to invite me to talk at any of your events, topics that suits what I'm very passionate about, which is tech, education, and getting more girls in STEM. So thank you again for the opportunity. It's always my joy to share with people and hope that this one or two things I say have impacted or changed people's lives. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I think like if we didn't ask question, obviously we didn't learn much from what she said. Yeah, because one of the things I think is basically asking questions, and there's no such thing as stupid question, just as she mentioned. You can always ask around your curiosity. I think one of the big things for me that I would like to ask is when it comes to like people transitioning from one like career path into another, or like the myth around like our traditional programs, what are some things that you would strongly advise or recommend that people do in a bid for them to like make that transition smoothly? And yeah, so that's pretty much like it.
All right. Thank you, Jim. So I hear that your question is for someone who is trying to transition from one career path to the other, what are things they need to do to ensure that they have this transition, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So it's interesting that similar to question Timothy just asked, what would you say a fresh graduate interested in business analytics or consulting, what should they be doing now? So I would say draw a map forward and then follow it backward. I hope I'm not mixing things up. Like see the future and then roll it down to the present. My point is, say for example, you let me use Timothy as an example. He's interested in business analytics or consulting. Talking about thinking global, I think what I'll ask myself, Timothy, and by the way, James, this answers your question as well. Um, what's like the best analytics firm, maybe in Nigeria, in Africa, in the world right now? For example, we have BCG, we have McKinsey. Good. Now I have an idea of where I want to work as a business analytics or consulting person. Because let me assume James is Timothy or James. Let me assume they are in microbiology. Now they want to transition to business analytics or consulting. So now we know BCG, we know there is McKinsey. I think one thing I will first go and do is go and check BCG and McKinsey's entry level. What are the skills they always say they require for entry level students? Let me give you a very good example. I don't want to call my friend's name. I have a friend who studied human resources in the university. That was what she studied for 4 years in school. But she always knew she wanted to do data analytics. She wants to be a data analyst. And guess what she did? She had like so many role profile of companies she might want to work for. What are the things they are looking for? They want SQL, I mean SQL, or however you guys call it, SQL, SQL. They want SQL, they want this, they want her to understand data visualization. She noted all of those things, took so many online courses, studied diligently, did some free internship, worked on projects. Now she presently works as a data analyst in Bloomberg, someone that studied human resource in the university that has nothing to do with tech. But she was able to say, these are the companies I want to work for. So what are the skills? These companies, this place I want to transition to, what are the skills they require? She was able to highlight those things.
Sorry to break. Is that Honoma?
No worries. Anoma, yeah, she's my very good friend, and I'm so proud of her. So proud of her. So proud of her. And then she was able to highlight these are things I need to enter this Bloomberg I want to go to. And then she learned those things. And now she's working at Bloomberg. Now to James' questions and Timothy's question. Timothy said he wants to do business analytics and consulting. BCG and McKinsey are your go-to. Go and check their role profile. Entry-level BCG. What does BCG want you to have by then to enter? What does McKinsey, between now and next year, you can make active use of your time by actively maybe taking courses that will guide you to get into BCG and McKinsey. Another thing is start actively networking with people in consulting and business analytics. Start checking on LinkedIn. Who are those that have worked in those companies I want to work for that are doing business analytics? Even let me give you an example. Before I resumed Google, I went to check everybody that has done product marketing in Google. Are there some online courses they have taken? I saw some people have taken courses on digital marketing. I went to LinkedIn is like a good way to just kind of like understand what you want to do with your life. People that have worked in all these McKinseys and the BCG, what are courses they have taken? Some of them have done virtual KPMG internship that is for free for you to do. Just go and do it. You have an idea of this is what it takes to work at KPMG. To answer your question, I would say have a company in mind, check their role profile, ask people who are already in those companies or already in those roles. For me now, I'm able to talk more on consulting or business analysis because it's not my field. But I can talk all day about product management and product marketing because I know it from A to Z. So that would be my advice for you, Timothy. For people who are transitioning smoothly, the only way you can transition smoothly is people that have gone ahead of you and have done that path. They've done the whole path. Just go and meet them. What did you study? What did you do? Check the role profile or the job description of these companies so that you know the things you need to learn. Or if they say project management, okay, don't take a project management course before so date. So I think that answers James and Timothy's question. I want to touch on all the questions. I see that Eniola Oluwa says, how do you get clarity across the different areas of interest? Clarity across the different area of interest. I'm trying to understand the question. Eniola Oluwa, do you mind if you unmute? Do you mean that you have so many interests and you want to pick one? I want to be sure I'm not misinterpreting your question.
Hi, Temilade. Can you confirm
Hi.
if you can hear me?
Sure, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, for this session, it's been amazing. So I mean is I remember you mentioned, I think was about chemistry in between. For instance, as an undergraduate, you mentioned exploring, trying different things. So with time, how did you get clarity across your different areas of interest? Because I know there was a time you had a thing with AI, ML, and now you're doing product, just the different areas of interest. How were you able to decide, if that's the word?
Very good question. Very good question. I always say that number one, don't judge things by other people's experience. Somebody else will tell you, hey, I've done ABC, I don't like it. Don't say, oh, because James tried this and he doesn't like it, that means I will not like it. No, you have to get your hands dirty with some of those interests you have. I was so interested in machine learning. I started taking online courses. started watching A Day in the Life of a Machine Learning Engineer. After I watched like 5 A Day in the Life, I say, this is not my day. This is not how my day is going to look like. I mean, much respect to machine learning engineers, but I mean, so many, literally anything you want to do now, even for Timothy, go and watch A Day in the Life of a Business Consultant. Just on YouTube, go and look for A Day in the Life of, so many people would have done videos, people that work at Microsoft, go and check their A Day in the Life. You begin to ask yourself, do I see myself in this? I watch A Day in the Life of machine learning engineer, I say, no, I don't, this is not what I want the day in my life to be like. So there are so many resources available for you online, and regarding your interest. I also had so many interests then. And then as I tried my hand on some things, once you try your hand on something, you see that you are really enjoying it out of your heart, such that you can literally say, if they don't pay me for this thing, I would love to do it. For me, if they don't even pay me for product management and marketing, I would love to do it. And let me tell you my why. As a product manager, I'm very big on impact. And then imagine I'm building products that is, say, for example, I'm working with, let me use Chowdeck. I don't know if you guys know Chowdeck. Chowdeck is a company here in Nigeria. They do like food delivery. Food delivery is like a big logistic problem in Nigeria because of traffic. But Chowdeck has, I don't know how they've sort of found the perfect solution where you can deliver a food now, get your food in 30 minutes, and it's going to be very hot and fresh. So many companies tried it and they failed. Imagine if you're a product manager for Chowdeck, where you're so happy that people are eating fresh food. They are happy. There is no, like, it just, being a product management and product marketer, I am excited because I feel like I'm making people's lives better. Being a product manager at U lesson, where you're like, okay, I'm building a product for students to learn and understand. So that kind of job is like an impactful job for me, and it makes me happy. So my point is, Eniola Oluwa, if you don't try your hand on something, you have something is interest. Interest is different from I've tried and I like it. Interest is I've read about this thing. Let me be very honest with you. At some point, I had so much interest in learning how to do makeup. I had so much interest in learning how to do makeup until I tried, and I have tried once or twice. The makeup is not makeuping. I knew that nah, maybe this thing is just not for me. So you have to try something to know if it is for you or not for you. I've tried so many things. I realized that this is not for me. I only admire from afar. I admire people that do things, but it is not for me. Just to answer your question, Yolua, you have so many interests. And there are people like you, there are so many people who have so many interests. I would say break it into two. Say, maybe for example, this year I'm focusing on A and B. Even though I always advise that for a start, since we are very young in our career, let's focus on one or two things for it. Don't have so many things you're trying to be interested in. Let me give you an example. I am interested in having an NGO. For me personally, I'm so interested in having an NGO that's to do with either education or more young girls in STEM. It is an interest. Guess what? I have tried, I have volunteered, I realized that this interest is growing day by day. I am loving it, I am liking it. I've had so many people ask me, why not have your own NGO? But I'm like, I don't have the time for it now. So I'm still nursing my interest till I have the time to make it come to life. So my point is, there are some interests that, what's the word now, you can hold on to for now, that can always happen later. Let me read something that a friend sent to me just this morning. My friend Omotunde, we had a conversation last week, and then she sent me a chat this morning that she was in Indidi Okonko's event sometimes this week. And Indidi said, you can have it all, but not at the same time. You can have so many interests, but you cannot tick those interests at the same time. Break it step by step. Just keep nursing the ones that you still enjoy till, okay, now I have enough money, enough time to go at scale with this interest. But don't be working on like 10 things at the same time. I feel it's going to stress you, and you just be like a master of, jack of so many trades, but master of none. So break your interest, try something. There are some you will try, and after like one or two times, you're like, no, I think this is just an interest. I don't think I love it. And you will stop. There are some that you've tried it once, you're like, oh my God, I'm loving this day by day. Just keep building on those blocks. I hope I answered your question. Aureolua says, how important are your grades? And Amifel, please feel free to stop me. I know that we have gone way past time. Aureolua says, how important are your grades when applying for global remote roles? And how can someone who finished the two to level up for the competitive world? This is a very beautiful question, Aureolua, and thank you for asking. I will say two things. I will say it from an angle of, if you are in your first year or second year in uni, I beg you, in the name of God, please just try your best to have a good grade. Like try. I know reading book is not beans. I agree with you that it could be very hard. Reading book is not all fun and games. If you're in your first year or you're in your second year, please try your best to finish with a first class or a 2-1. Just try, like just try. Because in all honesty, it was not my first class that got me my job at Google. I don't think so. Or I'm very sure it was not. They didn't even ask me about what did you finish in school. I'm not sure. Maybe they saw it on my resume, but they never asked me. And everybody that works in big company are not all first class and 2-1 people. So the good thing is first class will open doors for you. Imagine if you're in a networking session, come to somebody, hello, my name is James. I'm a first, they'll pay attention to you. First class, saying all those, no, like people like, the world likes success. Everybody likes to be friend of someone that is successful and stuff. Finishing with the first class and so on, people want to listen to you. They want to interact with you. I'm very sure maybe some of those people that reached out to me on LinkedIn when I finished school, because I said that congratulations, hello everybody, I just finished from UI first class. We're like, this is getting, maybe she has brain. So first class and so on will actually open doors for you. But it is your skills, your soft skills, your attitude that would now determine how long you will stay in that door or in that room that's been opened for you. Now you're not asking yourself, and by the way, not having a first class doesn't stop you from applying for global roles. For you that maybe you finish with a 2-2 or with a pass. I know so many people. There is a lady, Temilade Salami, she even bears my name on Instagram. She talks a lot about how you can move. If I'm not wrong, I think she finished with a 2-1 or 2-2. I'm not so sure now. But she got like fully funded to University of Sussex. She has graduated so well. My point is, whatever you graduate with, you can make good use of it. And she finished with 2-2. Thank you, Eniola Oluwa. Temilade finished with 2-2, but you will know Temilade is a 2-2 person. Like, she has done so well for herself. She has her own NGO. She has her own business. I am so, so proud of her. When I eventually get to meet her physically, I'm like, you inspire me. Like, she doesn't carry herself like a 2-2 person. Her name is Temilade Salam. You can go and check her on Instagram because her posts are very helpful. Your 2-2, you can make good use of your 2-2. Begin to add skill set. Maybe you're in accounting, finish your 2-2. Go and do ACCA. Go and get CFA certified. You're a human resource, but you want to continue on that path, finish your 2-2. Go and do project management certification. Go and do human resource certification. Like, there are things you can turn your 2-2 to gold or your pass to gold by adding other relevant soft skills, relevant internships or job on your CV that people would have forgotten you finished 2-2. They would have said, this person did this. They have forgotten you even had a 2-2. And sometimes maybe if you have a 2-2 on your resume, you don't have to put it. And the reason why you will not put it is because, okay, maybe somebody else can judge you by saying, except they ask you, say the truth. When they ask you, say the truth, finish the 2-2. But on your resume, you don't have to put I finished with a 2-2. Just put you graduated, you studied this course, and put all the other amazing things you've done that will cover up for the 2-2 you have. To answer your question, Oluwa, 2-2 or pass does not stop you from applying for a remote role. Like they don't even look at your grade, but they look at what are the things you've done. There are first class people that will apply for roles and they will not get it, and a third class will apply and will get it because the third class person has done so many things, so many skills, they developed themselves so many skills. Whereas the first class person is banking on, I finished the first class, I finished the first class. There is more to life than finishing the first class. It's good. I finished the first class. That's opened doors for me. I would advise you finish the first class or a 2-1. But even if you tried your best and it wasn't possible, that is fine. Please make sure you are beginning to work on so many skills. Take courses that will speak for you, that can use to defend yourself. That yes, I didn't finish the first class, but I have A, B, C, D, E in my resume that will speak for me. Time has gone now. I need to stop so that Amifel will not send me out of this room. But thank you so much for your time. I am really grateful. Thank you for your feedback as well, everybody. I will pass the mic back to Amifel.
Okay. I wasn't going to send you out. I'll carry you out. Okay. That's just.
You carry me out. Thank you.
All right.
Amifel.
Thank you so much for answering the question. So we'll just take a very short announcement and just update. So Kende, if you're ready, please go ahead with that.
All right. Thank you, Amifel. Thank you, Temilade, for such an insightful session. My name is Kende. I'm the General Secretary for African Students Network. So time is really gone, so this announcement is going to be short. So I know this webinar was actually very impactful, at least for me, and I'm sure for everyone that was on the call. So I want to tell you that you should look out for our monthly webinars I mean, check us out on social media. Just continue following us, and so you'll be able to be on the lookout for the continuation of the webinar series. Also, be on the lookout for our accelerator program that is designed to equip African students for global relevance and impact central to career development, entrepreneurship, and leadership. Let me not talk too much. Just be on the lookout. Check us out on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram. We're there. Follow us. And also, let me mention this also. We're going to continue with our industry insight series. We're going to start with that. So be on the lookout for that also. And to aid Adeola's job, please, the feedback form is already on the chat. Please let us fill the forms to be able to prepare better. Also, we'll be able to help out with questions and things that we need and that you can plan to us. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this call. I really appreciate it. I am Phil.
Okay, thank you so much, Kehinde, and thank you, Temilade Adelakun, one more time for just acknowledging and accepting to come speak for us. Thank you so much. And to everyone who joined in today, thank you so much. Like Kehinde said, we're going to continue this series. And please, for the next ones that come up, ensure you're not joining or attending these things alone. Tell your friends as soon as you see the links or the flyers, let them know and let them also come and enjoy what we're offering. So thank you all once again. For those who might still have questions, you can definitely connect with Temilade on her social media, and I think you can ask your questions there. I'm sure and I'm hoping, I think she'll be very available to answer them. So that we don't sleep here, we'll have to wrap up right now. And we've come to an end to this. We'll see you all next time at the ASN monthly.